heated debate stirred up by Colin Kaepernick, the 49ers quarterback, refusing to stand for the national anthems before games. Fans protesting his jersey. They're burning it. You see some of that right there. And now he's speaking out to defend his actions. ABC's Ryan Smith is here with the latest. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, George, Amy. Colin Kaepernick is speaking out about his protest, and he's not backing down, with fans by the thousands attacking him online for refusing to stand. As you mentioned, some even burning his jersey. The quarterback saying by sitting down, he's standing up for what he thinks needs to change.
Colin, here's my salute to you.
Colin Kaepernick under fire from fans and fellow players after his refusal to stand up for the national anthem, doubling down overnight.
I'll continue to sit. I'm going to continue to stand with the people that are being oppressed. When there's significant change and I feel like that flag represents what it's supposed to represent, I'll stand.
Kaepernick gonna run it. The 49ers dual threat quarterback with the rocket arm and lightning quick feet staying seated during the national anthem at Friday's preseason game, telling the NFL Network, "I'm not going to stand up and show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color."
I have experienced this. People close to me have experienced this. So it's something that needs to be addressed.
Kaepernick clarifying Sunday that refusing to honor the flag doesn't mean he's disrespecting the military.
People are dying in vain because this country isn't holding their end of the bargain up as far as, giving freedom and justice and liberty to everybody.
The 28-year-old, frequently outspoken on civil rights issues online, seemingly began his protest weeks earlier, sitting during the anthem for the team's previous 2 preseason games, though few seemed to notice. But after Friday's game, outrage, thousands flooding his Twitter page with comments. Giants receiver Victor Cruz saying sitting down isn't the right way to stand up.
You have to stand up there with your team and understand that it's this game and what's going on around the country is bigger than just you.
While others defending Kaepernick, Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban weighing in. He didn't throw a bomb, fire a shot, start a riot, throw a punch. He just sat there quietly. Kaepernick says the vitriol he's now facing is worth it to make a point.
I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, I really respect you for what you're doing and what you're standing for.
The NFL telling ABC News in a statement players are encouraged but not required to stand during the national anthem. But when asked if this will get him cut from the team, the quarterback says he doesn't know, adding that if he's cut, he feels he did what he feels is right, and he can live with that at the end of the day, George.
Okay, Ryan, thanks. Let's bring in ESPN Stephen A. Smith for more on this. And Stephen, you've done a lot on this whole issue of violence. You've had special shows on it as well. What's your take on what Colin's doing?
Well, I understand it and I respect it. I respectfully disagree with how he went about doing it because it's certainly not something that I would have done. But at the same time, we also have to understand that the First Amendment to our Constitution is freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And that's one of the things that he exercised here. He wanted to make a point. And as Mark Cuban pointed out, he didn't plant a bomb. He didn't shoot anybody. He didn't do anything. He made a silent protest. He's an unabashed supporter of Black Lives Matter. He addressed the issue of police brutality as an incentive as to why he was taking the position that he took. We understand it, and a lot of people within the black community, I can tell you for a fact, absolutely agree with him. A lot of people don't agree with how he went about doing it.
Let's get into that. What about the criticism about how he went about doing it? Some saying it's a distraction from his job.
Well, you could that's a valid point in some people's eyes, but people take stances all the time. And, if you remember when, Trayvon Martin transpired and other things happened as it pertained to the actions against African Americans, you had NBA players putting on T-shirts. Some people thought that was a distraction. Obviously, they beg to differ. You see silent protests that have been taking place in recent memory. People who are against the positions that these athletes take will always find an excuse to say that it is a distraction. But what they have to understand, particularly when it's emanating from the black community and in particular a black athlete, the mere fact that it's being debated or people are questioning whether or not it's a distraction, what you're saying to yourself is it not supposed to be a distraction? We're trying to bring attention to an issue. Colin Kaepernick obviously felt that way, and even though some people would disagree, and they certainly have the right to do so, there are others who would stand by him and say that they don't have a problem with what he's doing whatsoever.
What's this going to mean for his job?
Well, it depends. If he can still play, it won't mean much. It'll mean a lot in terms of endorsements. He's definitely going to feel the pinch there, and I think he spoke to the fact that he certainly knows that's coming. But as it pertains to him having a job in the NFL, I don't think this is an issue. I think the fact that he looks a bit subpar, he's coming off a season where he was a bit subpar, only threw 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, had a QBR of about 47. He doesn't look that impressive, and there's rumors as to whether or not he's going to get cut. In the end, if you can play, there will be somebody who will give you a job because their primary obligation is to try and win football games. If you cannot play, they will find an excuse to get rid of you. It is that simple. This won't determine his future as a quarterback in the NFL. His play will.
Okay, Stephen A. Smith, thanks very much.